Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and another video from Zermatt Tuning. We're back in our TCC Honda Civic. I know you love this car, and we're going around one of my favourite tracks on the game, and actually one of my favourite tracks ever. It's, well, Mazda Raceway Laguna. I think it's known as WeatherTech Raceway Laguna now in real life, but obviously on the game it's still Mazda Laguna. 11 turns, 2.238 miles long. It was in California. Actually, Laguna is the Spanish word for dry lagoon, or Laguna Seca means dry lagoon. So it's actually an ex-lake, and the US government bought the property, and now it's going to be a racetrack for a very long time, which is great news. So let's dive in. I've actually got the world record for this now, so let's have a look at a couple of laps here. So this is lap 11, pretty early on into the session. It's 15 minutes in. I'm relatively new back to the game after a bit of a break off. And you see we're slightly sort of wide on the entrance to that first corner. Get a pretty good exit out. Torque steering a little bit. Remember last time we talked about that importance of three-quarter throttling and maintaining that steering while you're accelerating, and that's the way to do it in these front-wheel drive cars. That is true, and we'll clip the curb there a little bit, and I'm surprised we didn't get a penalty, although we've got it from the previous lap already there. That's true, but in this track actually, and in the setup that I'm going to release for you guys now, it's much easier to full throttle the car, which I think is a big plus for the drivability of this car now. Dropping it down to third gear for the uphill left-hander onto what is known as the back, well, I think it's Rahal straight, even though it's not really straight. As you'll see later in the video, I don't actually maintain that third gear through there. I end up keeping it in fourth gear as we run a bit wide through the infamous corkscrew, 55 metres of elevation change throughout this circuit, and that's most of it really through there. A little bit wriggly through the left-hander, rainy corner, I believe it's called a rainy curve, into the final hairpin. And we're getting some good time here. We're up on our time, which I believe is a 28.8 at the minute. We're looking for that infamous 28.6, which is what THR Mitch has at the minute. And we're getting there. We've got an 8.45 there, and it was okay lap. Wasn't clean, but it was an all right lap. Let's take a look at what the world record lap round here now looks like. So over the crest of this sort of half first corner, you can go over the white line quite considerably and actually gain a little bit of speed from the bump. Braking as wide as you can and taking a little bit of a double apex through this left hand. You can see I have two bites of the throttle through there. Going wide on the exit now, turning earlier than you think for this right hand. You need to apex way earlier than you think you need to. There's a lot of room on the outside to run out. It doesn't matter if you get a bit of grass away. Turning later than you think for this one because it tightens on the exit quite considerably. Straight into fourth gear. Got a bit of a breather to try and spot your brake point after this bridge. Somewhere around the two board as it is on this game. Get as straight as possible. Apex pretty early on that corner and try and keep it as tight as possible. Now, as I said, keep it in fourth gear here. Use the curve to brake as wide as possible. A little bit of curve on the inside, and we just touch the grass and use a little bit of time on the outside. Up the hill into the corkscrew. Look at the attack angle there. Look how far right I stay. I'm off the throttle, taking curve on the inside, flooring it down the hill, trying keeping it straight as possible out in that acceleration zone, while trying to get over to the right hand side of the track to apex as late as possible into that left hander. Second last corner, use a lot of track on the left hand side, apex early with a big runoff, well not runoff, there's a lot of room on the outside for you to run wide. Now, really important, last corner, laps can be won and lost here, and on this lap we absolutely win it here. A lot of off throttle time, which we'll go into in a second, and away across the line for a 1:28.612, which is first the world record by 3/4 of a tenth or so, which in these touring cars is big. So let's look at the lap again. Let's break it down in a bit more detail. You can see I come across the line, I'm immediately left, I'm going over these two white lines on the left hand side, don't get penalty. You need to brake as wide as possible. Look how much wider I'm making the track than it needs to be there. Again, we're a little bit wider than our Ghost. Look at the attack angle of my car as I'm going to come into the second part of this corner. It's all about getting a better exit here. I'm on that 3/4 throttle, I have a couple of stabs at it, but as soon as I can see the exit, I'm straight, I'm on full throttle, and I'm as wide as I can possibly be. Into third gear, turn in early. Look how early I apex this corner on the curb, way before that red marker, which is kind of where the game thinks you should apex, I guess. wide as you can, stay in third gear, later turn in you think you go. Don't clip the red curves, you see as I did on my Ghost there, they lose a little bit of time. Now this one, staying fourth or go up to fifth, brake somewhere around the 2 marker just before it. You get apex pretty early, but make sure you don't go on that curb there because it will kick you out onto the right hand side of the track and then you're going to be losing time all the way up the hill, not just on this bit but past the kink and everywhere. Go as wide as you can on the right hand side. Again, it's the 2 marker we're looking at for our braking point. Keep in fourth gear for this. You need to maintain that power band all the way up the hill. You don't want to be fanning around with changing gear up this hill. It's just going to lose you time. A little bit of off throttle there as we get on the grass on the outside as I got a little bit nervous, but maintain some good speed up the hill. And look at this attack entry. I mentioned it on the lap previously, but look how much towards the right hand side of the track we are. Again, we're aiming for that 2 marker almost, making the track as wide as possible. We need to gain that time in these cars. A lot of off throttle, straight back on it. As I said, straighten up the exit onto this before this left-hander. The apex is so much later than you think it is. It's here rather than where the red marker is. A lot of people turn in too early for that left-hander and they compromise themselves on this part of the track. As you can see, I gained quite a lot of time on my Ghost. Early entry into this one, there's a lot of space, a lot of room to run out wider on here, which I don't use actually. There's a good half metre there to use. Now the last corner, like I said, make or break, a lot of off throttle, let the car roll around straight back on the throttle. You can go so wide here, the left hand side of the car can really run out wide. Let's have another look at that. Look, I'm off the throttle here, I'm just coming off the brake and I'm not back on the throttle for a good 5-6 metres, which may seem insignificant, but when you've got the decel diff at 0%, it makes a huge impact on how the car is turning. Let's roll through it again in real time then. Remembering those things like staying off throttle, letting the diff do the work and rotate the car around, especially when the rear spring is high and the decel diff is low. Making the track as wide as possible and using the torque of this car, not to torque steer, very important, but to pull the car out of the corners without using too much wheel spin. Turning in early and you think you can for this right-hander here. Staying on the curb on the left, you can use all of it, stay on it, there's good grip here. Turning in a little bit later than you think you should, the racing line's completely wrong through there. Wide but not too wide, you will get a penalty, it's pretty prone to getting a penalty on the outside of there, just before the 2 marker here. Turn in early and stay tight to the curb here. Don't roll out too wide as you'll be in that gravel trap and that does slow you down considerably all the way up this hill. Again, looking for the 2 marker, staying in fourth gear, cut the curb on the outside, maintain good speed all the way up this hill, try and straight line it as possible as you can. And now we're going to attack this corkscrew. We're going to brake in as straight line as possible. We're off the throttle, a couple of little blips to get the front end of the car round, and we're straight on the exit here, coming onto the right hand side of the track to get a later apex into this left hander. Look, there we go, there's the apex. Run out a little bit wide, there's good grip to be had by staying a little bit straighter coming out that left-hander previously to this corner. Now, into the last corner, look where I brake and where I come off the throttle. I'm just cruising, nothing's happening, we're only turning, and then we're back on the throttle as soon as we can see the exit. And guys, that's the 128.6, it's the world record lap round here at the minute. Go and have a go at it. You see, there's the leaderboard, the global one. Me and Mitch in Civics at the top. There's an Audi S3, an RS3, even a BMW 125i there in 5th place. So go and have a go at it. Let me know how you get on in the comments. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, then do subscribe to the channel. I've said this a few times now, but over 70% of you are watching these videos. There are a lot of you watching as well, haven't subscribed. So, be much appreciated from me if you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and tell your friends about the channel as well. We're going to be pumping out more and more of this TCC content. I've got a live stream coming up, loads of live streams coming up. So until then, see you guys next time.